Welcome to Influential Leadership. I'm John Hadley.
And I'm Dave Miller. John, I think you had something to talk about today.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about BHAG.
Okay, say what?
Well, it stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal.
Ooh, okay, tell me more.
Well, this is something that came out of my reading of Patrick Lencioni, who's really an interesting author. And I know you've read some of his books too.
That is one of my favorite books, the one you have right there. I think
Yeah.
it's a great book for teams.
So one of his other books was Silos, Politics, and Turf Wars. And it turns out we were talking about Jim Collins and Good to Great and the focus in one of our other tips. And it turns out Jim Collins actually coined this term BHAG, Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. And the idea was...
Built to last, right?
Pardon?
In his book, Built to Last.
Yes. And what it turned out to be is that, you see how in organizations you get all these silos, you get these different departments who are they're doing what makes sense for their department. But that doesn't necessarily mean that when you put it all together, it's what makes the most sense for the organization as a whole. And so Lencioni's idea was you come up with this big, hairy, audacious goal that everyone can buy into, that they're all really trying to accomplish. And suddenly what they're doing in their individual departments and jobs, they're interpreting in the light of the big, hairy, audacious goal they're trying to meet as well. So some of those turf battles and the silos kind of melt away as you're all trying to steer things in the same direction.
Mm-hmm. Now, I understand what big means in terms of goals. What makes a goal hairy and audacious? Just out of curiosity.
Well, it's not like kumbaya. We all want to have great customer service. Well, yeah, so that's not a goal. I mean, you might be able to frame it as a goal, but it's not something that is going to get everyone excited. Now, if you say, we want to provide the level of customer service that company X, who's really known for customer service, provides, by the end of next year, maybe you could turn it into something. But it's got to be something big. It can't just be incremental. It can't be we're going to grow our sales 10% versus last year's plan. And then the next year, we're going to grow them 10% versus last year's plan. I mean, no one's going to get behind that. You have to have a major challenge that you're trying to overcome, or a major goal, a hairy goal that people are really going to go after. That is not it's not a slam dunk. It's something that you're really trying to achieve, but you don't know if you're going to get there unless you all really get behind it.
And it sounds like it needs to be something that you can get emotionally connected to.
Absolutely.
I mean, increasing our sales by 10% may be a really adventurous goal or a big challenging goal, but it may not be one that really motivates me from an emotional standpoint too much. So what else can we add to that to make that, maybe it's the why behind why we're getting 10% that does that.
Yeah, maybe it's we got to plug the hole that in our sales process is causing us to bleed in this area. We've got to take over this new target market. In my case, when I first got my fellowship, I had a boss who, he said, we are going to catch up to Paul Revere in our disability line in the next 5 years. And Paul Revere at the time was the #1 disability carrier in the market. And we were almost a no name. I mean, we're known among equitable career agents, but that didn't get us very far in the market. And we got so excited. And for the next couple of years, that was the most interesting place to work. All the different departments were rowing in the same direction, trying to figure out how we can get really well known in the market and be the #1 carrier. And we were actually well on our way. We were making a lot of progress. And then, unfortunately, since we were part of a very large company, the broader company kind of pulled the plug and said, yeah, we don't really care about disability. You guys are going to be the stepsister again. My boss left. Not long after that, I left to go form a new department at another company. But for those couple of years, it was kind of reminded me of Camelot. We were all so excited about this direction we were charging towards.
Wow. So you had a mission, you had a competition, in a sense, which, awakened that competitive spirit.
That's right.
Neat.
So what I would challenge our listeners with is, what can you come up with? What goal can you come up with that people can get passionate about, can really get behind, even if it's just a goal for within your own department? But if you're leading an operation, what big, hairy, audacious goal can you set for your operation to get everyone really pumped up and pushing towards something exciting?
That sounds really good. And I think even if you don't have a staff right now, direct reports, whatever, having those goals for yourself can be really key to your motivation and engagement in the workplace as well, to be a leader in your job.
Absolutely. So until next time,
okay.
Be influential.
See you next week, everyone. Be influential.